Hi everybody, it's Katie, and today I'm going to be telling you about my top 5 favorite books of 2016 and my top 2 disappointments of 2016. So I would like to try to start off with the top 2 disappointments of 2016 just to get it out of the way so we're not ending the video on a bad note, because the first book that I have to say really disappointed me in 2016 is Mistaken for a Call Girl by Charlie Day. This is a very short book, but it kind of disgusted me in a way. It promoted rape and memory wash, and I couldn't do it. I read the whole thing in hopes of that it would get better. Didn't do good. It's about this girl. She goes for a job interview, and the person who's interviewing her mistakes her for the call girl that he hired and rapes her. And when she tries to leave and explaining that this wasn't the situation, he goes, BTW, I'm a vampire. If you don't stay with me now, then I'm gonna have to kill you. And she gets her memory wiped, and I disliked it in great amounts. The second book that I really didn't like during the year of 2016 is Love Maybe by Heather Hepler. This was a dollar store buy, so I really shouldn't be all too upset about it, but still, I mean, it was full of tropes. My best friend who climbs in my window every night really is the love of my life sort of tropes, and it was very, I don't know. It's about a girl whose birthday is on Valentine's Day and she doesn't believe in love. And she tries to find a way that she can have a boyfriend for Valentine's Day, and stuff happens, and I didn't like it all that much. So the first book that I really enjoyed, and these aren't really in any sort of particular order, this is just how I grabbed them off of the bookshelf. The first book that I really enjoyed is a book of poems by Edgar Allan Poe, and it is just an adorable little edition of poems and stories that he wrote, about 120 some odd pages of just Edgar Allan Poe poems, ranging from, the Science to The Raven to Helen, Spirits of the Dead. It's got so many of his beautiful works in here, and I really enjoyed it. Next book that is on my list for books that I really enjoyed actually put me in the biggest reading slump I've ever been through and ever had to claw my way out of. Back in February, and it took till like freaking October for me to get out of this reading slump. So the fact that I actually made it to 75 books was a miracle. And this is a ARC edition, so the cover isn't what it would look like if you were getting it from the bookstore. That is Nowhere But Here by Katie McGarry. I got this book when I went to the Romantic Times Book Lovers Convention. I forget what year, I think it was a year or two ago, and it was a free, kind of like put in the bag sort of book, and oh my gosh, I loved it. Oh, it was so good. Oh gosh. It's very much Sons of Anarchy meets Game of Thrones. There's bloodshed, there's death, possible death, there's backstabbing, there's all of this crap, and it was so good. Oh, and it's about bikers too, so heck yeah. The next book that I read this year, I read way at the beginning of the year. And this was actually the first book I have ever read by this author, and that is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. It is about a boy who finds out that he is the child of a god, a Nordic god, and he does so by dying, and now he has to save the world. Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer. I also read the second book in the series this year when that came out, and I also rated it 5 out of 5, but this one really got me into Rick Riordan from the start, and now I'm finishing up the Percy Jackson series, and I have all of his other books that I want to read and that are my goal for next year. Number 4, that is another one with a very long title, and that is The Shepherd, the Angel, and Walter the Christmas Miracle Dog by Dave Barry. I have read works by Dave Barry when he wrote the Peter and the Starcatcher series with Ridley Pearson, and I am a big fan of Ridley Pearson, so I was very surprised to see a Dave Barry book inside the dollar store, which is where I got this. It has some really pretty graphics in it, and it was a short book. It was a short, quick read, and it had some pretty hilarious stories in it. I think I read one of them out loud in the book review. Not 100% sure if that book review is posted yet. It reduced me to tears. It broke me down. I cried so hard reading this book because it just hit me in the feels, and I can't even try to tell you what this book is about without giving away spoilers. So I recommend you read it. It's a nice quick read. It'll hit you in the feels. You'll cry. You'll love it. Finally, the last book that I want to talk about in this video. I am a big fan of the concept of what if. What if this happened? How would that change a situation? And so when I found a book that took a classic story and changed it into a what if situation, I knew I had to read this book. And I got it for Christmas last year, and I read it early this year. And that book is A Whole New World, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. And it is the idea of what if Jafar got the lamp at the beginning of the story. What would happen then? And it took you on an adventure of zombies and mayhem and rebellion. It was very Star Wars meets Aladdin, and I really enjoyed it. It was such a good book. I know that there are a couple more by her out that take the what if scenario, and I want to read them. They're on my list of books to buy. I just haven't bought them yet. Those are the top 5 books that I really enjoyed and the top 2 books that I was really disappointed with. I read a total of 75 books this year, and I mean, 75 books this year, 7,486 pages according to Goodreads. My longest book was Winter by Marissa Meyer. And my shortest book was a comic book called The Cavalry Shield, a 50th anniversary edition, where it's a comic book about Melinda May. If you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then you know who that is. And that was 22 pages long. Winter was 832 pages long. Follow me on all of my different social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Goodreads. I have also a website and an email that you can contact me on there if you so choose. All of that information will be in the description box down below. So, insert a creative outro here. I'll talk to you later. Bye.